So the big news I wanted to talk about is the SpongeBob SquarePants secret lair for Magic the Gathering.
What is it? Secret lair, or is it? What's the UB stand for? Unbound.
Universes Beyond.
Universes Beyond.
Yeah. Universes Beyond is is what the stuff that's outside of Magic, like Lord of the Rings. Avatar, which just got announced today.
Avatar, which was announced this week. Yeah. Real quick question, Kevin. I want to clarify. Secret Lair was before Universes Unbound, right? It was like, hey, these are like a little silly thing we're doing.
No. So Secret Lair is when they release like 4 cards with different art. Universes Beyond.
Oh, okay.
Universes Beyond is just what we call anything that is outside of the main Magic canon.
Okay, all right, sure. So it's the Avatar. I've seen the Fallout sets,
the
Transformers sets, right?
Right. So the Transformers were a special guest. The Fallout cards were collector's packs and commander decks. So things are not typically full sets. Like there are Jurassic Park cards, but they are a secret lair. They're not, or I think they're a special guest.
Okay. I've seen like a Junji Ito set, but it's like 7 cards.
Yes, that would be a secret lair. Or
okay.
I think he did a few for New Phyrexia, so like but that would be Universes Within because Junji Ito. Sometimes it's unclear where things fall as far as Universes Within or Universes Beyond, but so Magic's
or just the fact Magic's become Fortnite.
Yeah, Magic's over. It had a bad run while it lasted.
And if you don't like it, it's a shame because too bad because Wizards is presumably making so much money off of these.
I guess because this year we're doing Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Is it just? I know. There's Marvel cards. Is that a separate one? Because I've seen a Cap one and like a Black Panther.
That was a
separate set.
That was a secret lair.
Jeez. All right. That's. I feel like that's annoyingly different, and maybe that helps distinguish what those sets are. But the fact that you were like, well, some are boosters, some are commanders. I don't know. Be consistent, Magic.
The fact that I have to do Wizards marketing and clarification for them, just because. I have this fucking like tumor in me that is being a Magic the Gathering fan. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm getting a little grumpy about it. I hate the idea that Magic is becoming the only way to market something that's like successful is to market it to people who don't care about it, and like because you already have the people who care about it paying for it. And you're not going to reach the people who hate it, so you just have to market to the people who don't care about it. I don't like those people.
Well, what is the? I mean, I guess it's always great to grow a games audience. I get that, but like,
is it always great to grow a games audience?
Well, I guess if it was the game itself, right? Like if you were a I'm thinking of like online games where like you do need to have a healthy player base, or you'll never have matchmaking, and then you can't play the game you want to play. Versus me and my buddies go to a bar and we play Commander with our decks that we have and no one can stop us.
Yeah, I guess this also brings to light like how what I want. I mean, I'm a cranky Magic player, but like the SpongeBob set doesn't really. It's not hurting me, right? Like I'm just not going to spend money on the SpongeBob cards, but somebody will, and like maybe they'll play Magic, and then like I'll sit down at a table and be like, "This is my Toshiro Umezawa deck." They'll be like, "This is my Squidward deck," and I'll be like, "All right, let's see how it goes." Like it is just smashing action figures together at the end of the day.
That's what I'm curious. Like if you took away the franchise, the IP, right?
Yeah.
How many? I'm curious how many people will get the SpongeBob deck, and I have a few animation friends who like marked out hard for that. They're like, "Oh my god, I'm totally getting all of those." When will new players get that? Right? They get really into the cards. They build a deck. They play other people. And they'll go, you know what I really realized is I really just love the mechanics of tapping lands for mana. Like, or I love vigilance as a skill set. I want to build a deck unrelated to SpongeBob that has vigilance. And like, then they are a Magic the Gathering player. I'm curious how many folks become that.
Yeah, I really wonder what the pipeline is. I don't know if Wizards cares so much about that. Like,
no.
Because there are people who just buy cards, right? And they don't ever have to like play the game because they just like buying the cards.
They might just collect them and look at them. Yeah.
If Magic just like dumped a brick of cards every year and it was like, these are the new cards this year, now you have them, and removed like the collector aspect from the game entirely, I wonder. I wonder if I'd like it more.
Yeah, and also, would that at some point, like, does these economies, if you actually, I was watching a lot about, like, this is relevant, I swear it's not off topic, of, the online gaming marketplace economy of, like, CSGO skins and Valve and all those. At some point, you have a question of, like, well, if we took away this idea, the game might just implode and no one play it, because suddenly the slot machine mechanics that are powering all of this would just fall away, and so we almost need to keep the capitalist collectors thing going.
Yeah, well,
everything would fall down.
Is it ethical to do that? Should things just have their time and then go away? Wouldn't it be better if that just happened organically? I don't think it is a righteous thing to keep your players ensnared. I get everybody's got to eat, but we're all stealing people's time, wasting people's time. And wasting people's money, I think, is an evil act. So,
no, I don't disagree. It maybe is the real evil might be the insistence that the number go up constantly, right?
Yeah.
Like the profits of Wizards of the Coast must constantly go up, as opposed to, I don't know. I feel like in our lifetime, Magic has had moments in the sun, and then they would go away for a couple of years. It'd be kind of like a joke thing and like a TV show. And then, for whatever reason, it would have a resurgence, whether it was a new set that got people interested or just a new generation. It would click for them. But it wasn't like constantly always, we need to add plus 25% growth revenue every year, or what is the point of doing this card game?
This is not how I pictured this conversation.
No, I'm also... Yeah, because this was... Avatar: The Last Airbender was announced at... huge announcement. I feel like it's worth... starting asterisk, I am working at Avatar Studios on a project.
Yeah, you didn't. I don't think you got to announce that on the air yet.
I have not announced it on the podcast yet. Yeah, I am a story editor, aka head writer on the next Avatar series. I am so stoked. I've been sitting on that secret for like 2 years.
I had no idea. Legally, I had no idea.
I totally didn't tell Kevin
no one
a long
knew.
time ago.
I didn't know for legal purposes.
For legal purposes, I have nothing to do with the Avatar set, but I definitely this week went out to my studio execs. I was like, okay, can you tell me like what mana is the Avatar? Is it colorless?
Well, it'd be all five, right?
I couldn't decide, and I have the answer.
Yeah,
I feel like I can't say, or they'll kill me. I thought it either would be you either need all five to do it, which I never play those cards because that's too much. I can't do that, or it's a really high cost colorless because the Avatar can use all elements. So couldn't they I'm powering it with a bunch of water land. That's fine.
Yeah. And then you could have different colored activated abilities. I think the problem is it's a bit of a square peg round hole thing where there are 4 Avatar elements and 5 magic colors. Right. And in the first season, in season 1 Avatar, or I guess the first in the Aang era Avatar, Firebenders are not very red aligned. Even though they literally shoot fire, they're more black or maybe blue, or maybe they're.
Interesting, because I didn't bump on them being red, but I see what you mean. I guess
yeah. So and I know in the there is a China only Magic the Gathering set, and because of censorship laws over there, there's just no black mana because there's none. They don't do it.
Wait, whoa, what do you mean? Because I know there's things like skeletons can't be seen or whatever.
Yes,
right?
And do you recall what the symbol of black mana is in Magic?
Oh, just because there's a skull on it?
Not just because of that, but there is I know there's a dual deck set that's Mu Yangling versus I forget the green boy's name is, but his dog's name is Mowu. But they're just these characters that exist in this China only plane that apparently has no black mana, and it's that's a really fascinating concept in universe and also outside of the universe. But Mu Yangling appeared in Ether Drift driving a car, and I'm well, is she? I mean, okay, did she walk over here or because apparently she got desparked too, so she's not a planeswalker anymore.
So to clarify, you mean does no Magic the Gathering sets go over to China except for this one specific made for China set?
I don't know the issue well enough to say anything definitively. I just know that there is a set that is very based in Chinese mythology that has no black mana anywhere present in it.
Wow. So Kamigawa's not
That's Japan.
Doing anything.
That's
over
Japan,
there.
Chad.
Well, that's Japan. I was just trying to think, like, there's probably ghouls and demons. Wouldn't it be so funny if they kept black mana, but they just, like, painted flesh over all of it?
It's just a guy's head.
Yeah, it's just a guy's head. It's like a default character creator over all of the mana lands. If there's any spooky skeletons, it's like it's just like Did you ever see Showgirls on VH, specifically when it airs on VH1?
No, but continue.
It's a Paul Verhoeven directed movie. It's an absolute mess. It's about like the strip dance scene in Las Vegas. Famously destroyed the career of one of the girls from Saved by the Bell, who's the lead in it. Kind of a camp gay film now, but it's a lot of topless ladies.
Okay.
So what do they do for a TV performance of it? They don't just they can't just edit it or crop it because then there'd be no movie to show. They painted bras over all of them.
Oh.
Like
just like frame by frame?
Really weird. Yeah, like it looks like Cool World or something. It's really, really weird.
That's wild.
It's a lot of work to make a bad movie be seen on TV.
Do you remember like there was a meme trend of like porn that had been MS painted over so that it was wholesome?
Yeah.
was
people
like
shucking corn.
Yeah, people shucking corn.
It's very funny. Yeah, basically just do that for black magic cards. That's so the Avatar. Yeah, I don't know what I actually know more now about the Avatar set that I can't say. I don't know if I would prefer from a purely game design mechanic. I think maybe Kevin, you have the right idea that any like Avatar specific cards should require either different colors to do specific abilities or. I mean, did you ever do like a 5-color deck? Those seem impossible to do.
No, they're pretty easy these days. When you have access to like, all 27,000 Magic cards, you can pretty much build anything you want. There was like a season of Magic the Gathering, I think in like 2010 or 2011. Maybe no, it's probably like 2009. So there was like basically, there were a lot of hybrid mana stuff, and 5-color decks were everywhere because it was really easy to fit the requirements.
Oh, yeah, I was playing for a while where, like, the mana colors would be, like, literally a half-green, half-black circle kind of thing.
That's where, like, the Volcanic Swans deck happened, where, like, you could just ping yourself infinitely for damage and make tons and tons of swans.
Cool.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, basically, once you have access to all, like, of Magic the Gathering cards ever, colors don't really mean anything. Your setup phase is going to be longer, but like it's all possible. I don't like playing 5-color decks.
I'm still intimidated by it personally, but I'm not a high level Magic player.
I mean, neither am I. I've just been doing it for almost 2 decades now, and it doesn't make it again.
I would predict the.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
There you go.
I was just going to predict what is the rarest. What would be the rarest, most valuable Avatar card? My guess is whatever the Uncle Iroh card is, that's going to be the one that like Post Malone buys for $50,000.
I think it's going to be the fish that destroys remember at the end of season 1 when like
Aang fuses with the ocean spirit and like just kaijus everyone.
Yeah, the fish kaiju from the end of Avatar season 1. I think that thing is going to go fucking ham.
Oh, or Cabbage Merchant. Cabbage Merchant will be like, it's like not a good card, but people like all want it. There's one where it's Sokka or Katara and Zuko almost kissing card.
Oh, they're gonna make Sokka an equipment commander, and we already have too many fucking equipment commanders.
But that's actually kind of appropriate for him, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, but equipment sucks. Like, so here's the problem with equipment. Is it's a 2-part epoxy, right? You need to fill your deck with if your deck's whole thing is equipment, you need to fill your deck with equipment, and you need to fill your deck with creatures to put the equipment on. And so in like 25% of your games, you're gonna have only equipment or only dudes, and you're not gonna get like both of the things you need at the same time. So every equipment deck's problem is equipment.
But I play Wan Shi Tong, which lets me find any equipment card in my deck.
Wan Shi Tong is definitely a tutor. Yeah, he's definitely going to let you search your library. He who knows 10,000 things.
Yeah, I will get very stoked about that set though, and have already asked people at my job of like, hey, when a free swag comes in,
send it over. Yeah, I think like. Please? I think the spirit stuff is going to be a little richer than the human stuff. There's going to be a lot of.
That's what I assumed. Funny enough, even though airbending will probably be white, just because they won't be able to help themselves. I would have expected the spirits to be white and black, kind of like Kamigawa.
It's funny because it doesn't all like fit 1-to-1. You could put airbending as white and like make it more pacifist, but like at the same time, like white is also the tyrannical color. Like white wants to control. So.
And that's not very Air Nomad at all.
No,
it's a tough one to force it in there, yeah.
That makes Air Nomads a little bit red. And, like, I don't know, you could put, like, Earthbending in green and red, and, like, Firebending...
But Kevin, you're being too smart for it.
No, you're right.
The masses are going to want Toph is green, so she green. And Zuko is red, so he red. You know what I mean? Like, that's just going to be what it is.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's weird how it's like such a good fit, but also such a weird fit. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. I don't know if Gavin Verhey is the designer on it, but he was the lead for the Final Fantasy set. As much as I don't like super love the direction of Universes Beyond, I can admit Gavin Verhey does a good design for Universes Beyond, which is a nice thing I have said about Gavin Verhey. That's a nice thing.
What about I've seen a few of the Final Fantasy cards, but there's like a Cactar one that does 10,000 damage?
Yeah.
That seems dumb.
I mean, it seems very good, but dies to Doomblade, so, like...
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Cactar, is people who play the game, who don't understand the game, will just see big number. But, and people who are like, oh, I have a very complicated deck, where I need to, like, flip 3,000 switches, and then suddenly... I have, like, my infinite combo ready, are just going to get run over by Big Cactar. Because Magic is not about playing well. Like, Magic is not about playing the game very well. Magic is about making your opponent play very bad. Like, Magic is about killing the big things your opponents have so you don't die from them. So...
Cactar feels like it'll be like a pub stomper. Like a deck that I would build. Of like, I have Cactar, I give it trample, I win. Like, or whatever, and I just dominate everyone.
So Cactar on its own has no evasive abilities, so if a 1/1 blocks it, it's blocked. No damage goes through. It doesn't have trample, doesn't have flying, doesn't have haste, so you gotta wait a whole, like, turn around the board of a 4-player commander game for everybody to be like, yep, that deserves to live. And then it does its thing. There are cards. That's fair. There's like Vorpal Blade from the D&D set, which just says if the equipped creature hits with this and you pay 8 black mana, they lose the game. So like that can happen way faster than Cactar.
Isn't Vorpal Blade from Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, but it's also a standby from D&D.
Oh, it's probably like also a public domain one. Okay, here's my question, Kevin, and I'm very excited I think. Sounds like you would also interested in the Avatar: Last Airbender set. What is the like? I mean, I'm not going to buy a box. You're not going to buy a box of it.
I'm not going to buy a box. I might buy a few singles if it's good. But
there you go. What would be the like dream IP collaboration with Magic the Gathering that makes you go like, well, this gets all my money?
I mean, it was going to be Final Fantasy, but then I found out that all the packs are going to be more expensive. So...
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
That's so lame.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to buy a box of that either. I think I'm just going to buy singles. Like, increasingly the answer appears to be buy singles. Like, or proxy.
Just buy the cards you want, yeah.
Or print them out. Like, honestly, if you're playing with friends, it doesn't matter. Like, pretty much half the people I play with right now are proxying their cards. And... I like...
Oh, really? That's cool.
I like collecting. I like this stuff. But, like, if the whole... Like, if Wizards' whole thing is going to be milk people of all their money, like, I don't think they're... I think they're going to find a little bit of resistance there. And I think...
or at some point people will go, well, I gave you all my money on Spider-Man. I have no more money to give you for Helldivers or whatever. Like,
yeah, I had a friend who... Everyone was very excited. Everyone in my group was very excited for the Lord of the Rings set. And it was a very good set. But I had a friend who decided that he wanted to collect the entire Lord of the Rings set and had like a checklist and like did trades and like tried to get, one of every card. And he gave up because there were like 5 versions of every card. And like some of those.
Oh, he's trying to do all the versions too?
Yeah, and he's like,
oh my God.
I like Lord of the Rings and I like Magic the Gathering, but I was punished for doing that. So I don't know. Like,
yeah.
I think there's always going to be some kind of person with disposable income who wants Magic the Gathering stuff. And in general, I think bringing new people into the game is a good idea. It's just, is this leading to fun games? And I'm not sold on that yet. A lot of what Magic's trying to do this year, they have like new commander rules that like put cards into boxes that are like, are these game changers? Are these like heightened competitive cards? Like it's sort of like it is sort of just like an online game or whatever, like a subscription game. Except like, you know, I'm just going to dip my subscription if it's bad and then re-up it if it's good. It's the same as WoW. Like,
we could have had that universe where instead of all of the games as service like Battle Pass, loot boxes. I love that Overwatch 2 announced loot boxes and everyone was happy that loot boxes are back. Or it could have just been, here's the monthly sub of, I'm just picking like Marvel Rivals. I don't know, I'm just picking that.
Yeah.
Here's the monthly sub for Marvel Rivals and all the new characters and all the new skins and all the content. It all comes with your sub. Thank you for paying for the game. As opposed to this kind of like, well, you got to grind, you got to buy the battle pass, you got to put extra coins in to get your sexy skin. Like, we could have had it slightly different, and it still would have been capitalist.
I think it's all fine if what you get out of that is something good. I just don't.
Yeah.
I think once you're pursuing that model, you're admitting what you have isn't that good anymore. Like, once you're.
Yeah.
Like, if you could do it ethically, then just do it ethically.
Did you see that? You see the? I don't think you follow the news for very much, but Marvel Rivals was in the news a lot this last week. Not just for the real bummer of like, oh, we laid off our American dev team.
Yeah, I knew about that one.
And yeah, and the discourse about that being like, well, it's only 7 people, guys. It's all right. I was like, okay, why are you guys taking a bullet for giant corporation? But there was other stuff that's come up, and I'm sorry if I'm getting this news wrong, but it was that the head of NetEase at one point wanted to like not pay Marvel for the license as they were making the game, where they were just like, we don't want to do this. We think we could just make this game without Marvel characters.
Okay.
Which is insane. It's both cool and insane because I think, even though I think it's a pretty fun, you know, Overwatch-like, and I'm really enjoying it, so much of that game is, here are characters that you already kind of know. Like, I don't think that game would have been a big deal if it had been, here's generic suit man. And here is, I don't know, K-pop healer girl, but you've never seen them before.
Yeah, I think it's probably, as someone who is trying to tell original stories and make video games that way and stuff like that, and not trying to do a Marvel partnership, not that would ever be available to me, but
Bazooka Panic tie-in with, That's I think a good IP license to saddle you with, Kevin.
Yeah, it's just not going to work. And like, I think it's empty calories most of the time when you're doing a crossover. Like, it feels marketing-y. And if big Adidas Godzilla didn't get me into Fortnite, then I don't think anything's going to do.
It's funny. I was thinking of that too, and not to stump for Rivals. I think Rivals at least is, we're giving you the franchise, but also the mechanics are based on that franchise, right? Like, the controls for this character is based on a character you know, and it does feel like you're playing that character, versus Fortnite, I played a little bit, was like, hey, you love, I have Alan Wake 2's skin, because I bought Alan Wake 2 on Epic, and it's like, Alan Wake with a gun. It's like, well, how is this Alan Wake? It's not. Yeah. It's just a guy in a suit with a gun.
Couldn't you just play Alan Wake?
I could just play Alan Wake, yeah. But there's also not a lot of like, there's not a, boy, imagine if Alan Wake, who has control of reality, if he writes a story, was thrown in a fighting arena, battle royale style, how would he survive? I was like, well, he'd probably find a corner and a typewriter and start writing about how Twisted Towers became his home or something.
Yeah, the other thing is, I don't think other players care about what your skin is. Like, I don't think other players parse the aesthetics of your character. Like, they understand that they are Godzilla with a fresh pair of Adidas on, but
is that really a thing? Godzilla with Adidas on Fortnite? Is that a thing?
I don't know. I'm not going to Google it. But like, I think when they see I think everything else just gets like simplified down to Fortnite noise, and it's the same with Magic the Gathering. Like 33 Elk is a Magic the Gathering YouTuber, and they talk about how when you're playing Magic, you really only care about aesthetics for your own deck. You may think you care about someone else's aesthetics, but like SpongeBob across the way from you is just going to be like a 3/3 with trample or whatever. Like it's not going to.
Does it feel like Plankton is hitting you with a chum bucket control helmet? Does it feel like it, or do you feel like you're just giving an equipment? It
feels like you're hitting. Like if it's your thing, you will feel like the goal is you'll feel like you're hitting with a chum bucket. You're hitting with Plankton with a chum bucket. But if it's happening to you, you're just going through the motions of ticking down your life and waiting for your turn.
What's the number now?
Yeah. When you get to.
How about this for a new Magic rule? Magic says here's the sets for any legal games. You have to play in the voice of the character you're playing.
I think that would solve a lot of problems, Chad. I'm being honest.
I think so. I think it'd be a filter for certain people, and I think it'd make the experiences very good. So yeah, but very excited, by the way. I love that I buried my 2-year long building announcement of I'm working on the next Avatar series in a dense Magic the Gathering conversation.
I'm sorry. I know too much about
Magic the Gathering. I also wanted to talk about. I was very excited for that set.
I mean, I feel like we could have gone way longer just trading Avatar references. Like throwing out Wan Shu Tong was great. Like.
Oh, thank you. This is my life now, Kevin. This is all I'm doing is looking up lore books and trying to make sure I'm not going to get like dinged by someone at Comic-Con, and I'm sure I still will. For the record, Avatar is pretty far up there in terms of what's a set that would make you freak out because Avatar to work on is a dream project.
Yeah.
I think if Magic does a Sonic the Hedgehog set, I'm doomed. I think I'm boned real hard.
I mean, anything's possible. Like. You know, I taught my roommate Magic, and he's like, yeah, Universes Beyond. Like, I can see you're in Crisis. When are they going to do a Nintendo set? I'm like, probably any day now.
Oh my god, so soon! Yeah. And also, those game. I feel like the game franchises are much more like, whatever, we'll do. But Shovel Knight, is Shovel Knight available? Yeah, Shovel Knight will do it.
But like, how much longer can we do this? How much longer can it stretch itself out like this? I don't know. I think.
I mean, what's more likely first? We burn out on Magic the Gathering fans, or our country and world falls into a dark abyss? There's a comet coming in a couple years, Kevin. We'll be fine. We'll see what hits first.
Hank Green says we're fine, so we're probably fine.
Oh, okay, all right. I trust Hank. I trust a YouTuber.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Should we escape to the past and talk about a classic episode of 90s television?
Please. Let's talk about Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Welcome to Goosebuds. 30-ish minutes in, I am one of your hosts, Chad Quandt.
Hello, 30 minutes-ish in, I am one of your hosts, Kevin Cole.
And it is one of Kevin's last episodes. We're gonna miss you a lot, buddy.
Wow, we faked you out though. Like we got one more with me and Paul after this. We had to.
Here's my hope: is you guys are gonna keep doing one more, and then you're like, yeah, but there's one more,
just one more,
and then you guys just. It's like one round of civilization, and then you just never quit.
This was all just a prank to sell you guys Pepto-Bismol for giving you tummy aches about us leaving.
But Kevin, you had a great request. I still don't believe.
Yeah,
we've never covered Are You Afraid of the Dark? That's crazy to me.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked too. I'm like, I'm gonna have to work around which Are You Afraid of the Darks they've already seen. And it turns out none. Maybe some like Goosebuds historian.
I kept thinking that we must have recorded one and then Dom deleted it or something. Like, I just can't figure this out, but I can't prove it.
This was my Goosebumps. Like, I didn't really read Goosebumps as a child. But I did watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? And this episode especially stuck with me.
Oh, so you already had a memory of this one. I had never seen it.
Yeah.
I had watched some Are You Afraid of the Dark. I think for a lot of times it would come up and the intro would start and it would say, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And I go, yes, I am. And I would turn it off.
I am. Yeah, it opens on a boat. Ugh, no thank you.
Oh, a spooky boat. I mean, it's a creepy intro. And I think even just the way it was shot, It did have it always felt a little more adult. It always feels more like a Fear Street series than anything.
And I'll also say its intro music kicks the ass out of the Goosebumps intro music.
Ooh, I don't know, Kevin. I don't, it's great. Because I know what you mean. It's very good. I could acapella the Goosebumps theme. I don't know if I could acapella the Are You Afraid of the Dark theme. So I don't know.
I mean, it all depends. You know, there's only two kinds of people in the world, and it's Goosebumps theme and Are You Afraid of the Dark theme.
Are You Afraid of the Dark? I mean, Are You Afraid of the Dark does not show a nice dog getting snake eyes. So I don't know.
Yeah, just a scary boat in day for night. Like that's the blue filter on there. Is just...
I think it's funny to rewatch this because last year I don't think you ever watched it, Kevin, but a new modern adult version of the Midnight Society was a Netflix series by I think actually you maybe really like it. Michael, I was called Michael Gallagher. The guy did Midnight Mass and Ouija and Hush and Haunted of Bly Manor. I'm thinking of all of his shows, but his last project that I really, really liked was essentially this kind of like anthology series based off some real books. Maybe maybe I'll cover it on Goosebumps. Maybe you come back to me at some point. Yeah. Kevin and we called. I think it's called The Midnight Club. Very inspired by these, I believe, and same premise of kids gather at night to tell each other spooky stories. The darker twist of that series that was adapted into this TV show was also all of these kids are terminally ill at a house for dying children. So this is like their way of coping by telling each other scary stories and uncover a mystery. It's a cool premise.
Yeah, that's an interesting layer on top of it because I don't think we ever get into the framing device, even though like the kids all have like personalities and the fashion is so fucking peak for like the kids around the campfire. But we never really like get into them beyond like just their kind of generic archetypes of like prep, nerd, jock. Like they're all just kind of like kids.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I don't know about you. I was like, which character? Whatever. I think his name is Gary. Gary is the kid with the glasses.
Yeah, I didn't write down his name. I know Ross is our protagonist for this one.
I just want to call out. I feel like Gary. Gary played by Ross Hull. Really stood out to me because I don't think I had seen in TV a character who looks like a nerd but is confident. He has like I'm king of this group energy a lot.
Yeah, I really dig his energy as well. Like the opening that has the kids passing the Game Boy around, and it is like let's face it, is an anti-gamer message. Like,
oh my god, yeah, whoever wrote this hates video games. Hates them.
But you get to see that fucking gray brick Game Boy.
Oh, but they're just throwing it like a Frisbee, which, yeah, if any game console is going to be able to withstand that, it's a Game Boy.
Could. One withstood bombs in the Gulf War, so...
I've seen that. Yeah, it just still, like, guys, treat this better. We see... the gaming accuracy of this in the 90s, I think overall was pretty bad. There's an X-Files episode that takes place in a video game that is completely off.
The VR one, yeah. But
what is it like? You got to get the key. You got to get the key, but you got your points. And like, what if I push this button? Like, that's not how a Game Boy works. It's not. How a Game
Boy works. And that also bugged me as a kid that there is no reset button on the Game Boy.
You just turn it on off again.
Yeah, there's a hefty slider that you have to fingernail in and push up to start and stop the Game Boy, because it also locks the cartridge into place when you do that.
Oh, I don't know if I ever knew that.
So there's no reset button on the OG Game Boy. You just have to turn it all the way off.
0 out of 10 episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark for these inaccuracies.
So right off the bat, it's an unwatchable episode of television, just because.
But poor, was it David, I think? He just really wants to get the key.
Yeah, the twerp.
And that kid is acting. The twerp, he's like, oh, one of these days I'll get that key. And Gary is like, give that to me. Hey, maybe if you're really obsessed with video games, I got a scary story for you. It's the tale of the Pinball Wizard.
And then he reaches into that fucking cool ass sack of sparkle magic or whatever that they throw on the fire to make it go woo. But like, I love that fucking shit.
Do you want to know what that sack is, by the way? Because I do research for that for a project.
What's that sack?
That sack is granulated sugar.
Oh.
And it's, I believe it's have to be a specific type. It's either only confectionery or non-confectionery. We did a thing for Polaris, a pseudo creepy pasta theater, and I bought the wrong type of sugar, and we threw it on the fire, and it did nothing. We had to go get the other type of powdered sugar. But that's what's giving you that. Which also, I mean, that's going to attract so many ants out there in the woods. But yeah, it's sugar.
That's crazy. I thought it was sand or like something. I remember. Do you know how if you put like pennies in a fire, it turns green?
Oh, sure. I feel like that's a knowledge that I never knew, but it feels right.
There's all sorts of like Boy Scout lore that I missed out on, and I feel like sugar in the fire or pennies in the fire is stuff I only got bits.
If you put a penny in the fire, you go to jail because that's a federal crime for tampering with money.
It's true. They'll lock you up forever.
This is we should go through the kind of the plot. This is a plot. This episode is plot.
Yeah, I was
pure concentrated.
Yeah, this is a 22-minute episode, and I have 2 pages of notes just to try and follow like the movement of the crown and the throne and the princess, and this is a very like dreamlike and vibey episode that is just like, I wouldn't say this is a high quality episode of TV, but like the vibes.
No, it's not in the higher echelon of them. I feel like we've covered story, as soon as it started, we can lay it out is, what is the main character? The main character is such a blank slate. Ross. Ross is hanging out at the mall.
Yep.
And Ross loves money. He is hunting for money all over the place.
Ross will
his fingers in
will fight an unhoused woman 4 quarters from the wishing fountain.
I was thinking, that's such a long fight with what seems to be clearly just a random woman with rags wrapped around her head just to pretend to be I think, I'm trying to give the writers the benefit of the doubt on anything. I think that was supposed to be the sort of, quote, save the cat moment, where on the script, I bet it was Ross sees a quarter in the mall fountain. He reaches in to get it. Another hand reaches in to get it. He goes, "What the?" And then he turns and realizes it's a homeless person. He goes, "You need it more than me." But what we see is Ross like wrestle a homeless lady for a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, I think what this is supposed to be is this is like one of the things that damn him, that make it okay for us to punish the kid with an eternity.
Oh, you think that's his curse? Like he was selfish over it.
Yeah, well, all of this is just like hunting for an excuse to punish Ross, which is a weird kind of like very Catholic through line of Are You Afraid of the Dark is like the eternal punishment for wrongdoing. That doesn't really...
Sure, and I'm usually on board that in a horror story of like, oh, if someone's going to go through the ringer, they kind of had it coming, a Faustian bargain sort of thing.
It doesn't really happen in Goosebumps because nothing matters in Goosebumps. There is no judgment there's only cruelty, there's no judgment, right?
No, yeah, theoretically there would be the like, well, Dad said stay out of the basement, and I didn't listen. I should have listened. If I hadn't listened, I would never been turned into a plant or whatever. But
Are You Afraid of the Dark is more on the side of, and that's why you always leave a note.
The most famous episode that I would love to watch at some point on the show is, I recall the one people reference the most is the one with the clown, where he they go to the carnival and they take the clown's nose off the like festival prop, and that's what starts this clown ghost monster hunting them. I was like, well, yeah, it was light vandalism, right? Like they made a mistake there. I guess they had this coming.
Like this is like the thing with Are You Afraid of the Dark is like, I can see why kids might latch on to Goosebumps and bounce off of Are You Afraid of the Dark, because Are You Afraid of the Dark is all about kids messing up and then being punished by society, and then being like, yeah, society will punish you if you do bad things.
Yeah, Goosebumps is, I guess, a little bit wackier.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a joke in this episode. The unintentional joke is after Ross gets caught wrestling a homeless woman, a security guard goes, "Hey, what are you doing down there? That quarter's mall property." And it causes Ross to go, "You need it more than I do," and finally give up on it. But it feels less of a like, I feel for you, and more like, I don't want to go to jail.
Yep.
And we see him hiding around a pillar as the mall guard runs by. I mean, to be honest, knowing how most malls work in America, that security guard was going for the homeless person, not him. Right? That is
probably less of a lawsuit coming his way for that. But also, like, I think the mall cop becomes the mace executioner or the gladiator later.
Oh, really?
And the homeless lady becomes the witch. I think that's what they do with this.
Was that the same? Oh, oh my God. I hadn't even thought about, they did a literature?
I think they might have done like one literature or at least doubled up on casting for convenience sake.
That might have been actually, yeah. That's like, we didn't mean to be smart about it, but we had them here.
Oh no, the mace guy is actually posing in the window of Orson's.
Oh yeah, you see him when he first goes in. Yeah. So Ross, after hiding, and we get a foreshadowing, a real literature of he's hiding by a super soaker, one that I had as a kid. And I could tell they repainted to avoid copyright dispute. Dude, he's like, someday I'll.
The fucking like Deus Ex ass like super soaker like in the glass case. It's so video gamey. It's so like.
It's so video game. It's the most. We gotta get to that gun because I like. Oh, I can tell what the earlier draft of this was, but there is a big super soaker, which I guess is just the mall is like these are things you can buy.
Yeah,
talk to a sales representative to buy this here in the middle of the mall.
Sure.
Ross goes to a bizarre, not believable mall store that was a fix-it like antique shop.
Yeah.
Those would not exist in modern day malls. Those companies don't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's very dimly lit, and it's like kind of it's kind of dirty and stuff, and it seems like it should be like, you know, in like an old timey square and not in a modern ass mall.
Yeah. Production wise, also you can tell like, oh, you guys were not able to get access to any of the actual stores. This is some curtains you guys put up somewhere and pretended it's a room for the best that we can for this back room. And it meets Olson, the old man who runs this store. Somehow Olsen, it's in business.
Yeah. That's right.
Olson. Ross really wants a job. This is an endearing American capitalist dream. This young teenage boy who wants to work hard and make money.
Yeah.
He's been asking Olson all the time for a job. Olson's like, I don't want to hire kids anymore. He references a boy named like Steve.
Yeah. Who also got fired, I guess. That's like a dangling thread. Like we never meet Steve in the game or anything like that. He's not like the rat man in the pinball.
I became Rat Man. You can also call me Stinko. I was watching it with Heidi, and the entire time we're like, okay, so where's Steve? And Steve's definitely in the game.
He's definitely in the game. There's no way he's not in the game.
Spoilers: he was not in the game. Steve never came up again. Maybe Steve really did get fired. He was pissing on all the plants. I had to get rid of him. Olson is like, you know what? You bent my arm enough. I got to go get lunch because it's 3:00. Yep. That's not a great thing. That is real. It is real when your lunch shift is on a non-reasonable food time.
Yeah, but I mean, he is in the mall, so he just has to go to like the Sarku or whatever and fill up on.
What is Sarku?
Okay, so back in the day, so this mall looks a lot like my mall growing up.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there was this like Asian restaurant in our mall called Sarku. And they gave like little toothpick free samples of the fried chicken. And it was such like amazingly good teriyaki fried chicken. So like anytime you go to the mall, my mouth is watering just thinking about it. You just like buzz by Sarku, get free samples, then go do whatever you're doing, and then make repeated
not
trips.
Zanku chicken.
No.
Sarku.
And if that doxes where I grew up.
That sounds like a video.
that
sounds like a video game villain, Sarku.
Yeah, Sarku.
That does sound delicious, Kevin.
Yeah. I'm a little hungry at this podcast.
So yeah, I'm very hungry. Yeah, you hear my tummy rumbling on the mic. Ross just really wants a job, but Olson's like, you know what? I gotta go get lunch. If you watch the store, I'll do it. And also, just don't go play this. There's this pinball machine back here. It's awful. Don't even touch it. It's an antique.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's
Why
like,
don't
it's
you play
broken.
my other pinball game?
It's broken. It doesn't work right. He's just like, sit at the desk and don't move. Don't go to the bathroom. I'll be back. And it's like, okay, yeah. So he is giving you a chance, and you are being set up for failure because you're a little horrible child.
But also Olson has, Kevin. I'm sure you clocked it. Besides the antique one in the back, Olsen's got just like a bitchin' rad new modern pinball machine
in
the front of his store.
He's got like the Kiss pinball machine out front, and like he's like, I want to play.
Yeah, but they like put cardboard in front of it to block out who was on it or something. Yeah, but it's like if you are like an antique quiet store, why are you trying to lure vagrant youths in with your rad pinball games? I don't know. Obviously we'll understand later that Olsen actually is wanting to trap kids, but
I feel like the other reason is probably like an arcade is expensive to rent, maybe. I don't know. This is like, I feel like a lot of this feels very like last minute project-y. Like a lot of it's just like we get to shoot at the mall for the for the day. So let's just be grateful that we found a mall with a fountain.
That we can put our hands in. Yeah, no, it's. I think this is even coming up now, not till the end of the episode, but it is weird just structurally that the premise of this isn't taking place in an arcade place, right? Like,
yeah,
maybe that's production related because it's like, well, the fact that it's an antique repair place doesn't pay off. The pinball machine is maybe vaguely ancient, but also there's like sci-fi wires and cones on it. It really could have just been like, hey, I go to the arcade at the mall. Oh man, Buzz, can you hire me? I'd love to play video games all day. And he's like, that's not what it's like, Ross. And also, don't play that Polybius machine down there in the corner. That one's bad.
This definitely feels like it's being pulled in several directions. Where like it's about like the intro's about video games, but like then we go to pinball, and like the pinball is vaguely like Dragon's Lair themed, and it's like the main meat of the nightmare is kind of just like being in a choose your own adventure, almost like.
But there's no choices. Like, it's when I would read a Choose Your Own Adventure to you and Paul, and there's no choice. It's just find out what happens next. Turn to page 89 for the entire time. It's also not a pinball machine. That's the craziest part of this whole episode. It is until the very end. It's like we see Ross playing it, and he's like, "Oh, finally, I'm at level 1." And these like really funny close-up cuts of the custom cardboard back of the characters of the game. Like, level 2, I got the crown, I got the keys. Like, what pinball game would be like? It's an arcade game. It's an arcade machine.
Yeah, it's like a Dragon's Lair, like some kind of like, I don't know.
But we never see it. We are just seeing Ross reacting to it, going, "Wow, awesome, great, level, almost got that key."
But then Sophie shows up. And Sophie's like, I'm 90s cute. And Ross is like, I'm also kind of 90s cute. And I like that Sophie's just like a little bit taller than Ross. Like it works really well. Like she's just kind of like an inch and a half taller than Ross. But just like, is my music box fixed yet? And he's like, I don't really work here. And she's like, okay, well, I'll come back. And then like that should have like shamed Ross into just like doing his job. But
yeah.
And instead he's like, cool. And he goes back to the pinball machine and plays. When he comes back out, it's dark out.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God, I guess I'm a fuck up. I guess I'll play pinball. The one thing he told me not to do.
But
actually, wait. Yeah. When he played the pinball before, not to overanalyze this, when he played the pinball before, like we just talked about, he was playing the one in the front, wasn't he?
No, he was playing the one in the back. And Olsen, like...
Okay.
Olsen kind of, like, cranes an ear. Like, he, like, circles around and goes back to the storefront just to hear him playing the bad pinball machine.
And he's like, yes, the boy has fallen into my trap.
Yeah, and then he, like, smiles and walks away. I think... The other episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark I want us to watch is Fear Soup. Which
I thought you picked because of my dad.
I think I
figured is why it was picked.
Thematically, it works because of your dad, and your dad may get a few new ideas for his soup because of the dangerous soup.
Okay.
But so the dangerous soup has like this idea that fear can be extracted from a person, and it tastes delicious.
Awesome. Great.
And I'm like, okay, that would make more sense. Like, adults wanting to process you for your delicious fear, I think makes more sense than just like, an adult cursing you like a troll or whatever because you were bad at your job.
Yeah. Also, to be fair, Olsen, you're getting free labor from this kid. I don't think you have the right to punish him.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Ross is definitely doing free labor, but he's also not doing free labor very good, which is kind of based. But I don't know.
He's quiet quitting.
He is quiet.
His job is what he's doing.
So like Olsen never comes back, and when Ross like peeks out the door, it's totally nighttime, and he's like, "Oh, my mom's gonna kill me." And then like
also that cute girl didn't come back an hour later like she said she would.
It's true because you're a loser, Ross. But then the Men in Black show up.
Okay, what the fuck? Excuse my language. Because everything that Ross will encounter for the rest of this game, this movie, this episode, was vaguely muttered by him when he was playing. And the first level, he's like, the zombies, they hate the water. So it starts raining quarters into the pond to draw him to the water. I was like, well, some zombies are going to show up.
I mean, that part was cool. I liked the raining quarters part. Like, let's be real.
That part's cool. Yeah, that was probably the most expensive effect of the entire, because they had to get real quarters and then drop it down from a bucket on the next level above.
If all money came in the form of coins, I would probably be way more capitalist, because I love a jangling coin.
I do like the feeling of putting down a hard metal coin.
Yeah, a Sacagawea dollar on some peanut M&Ms.
The zombies show up, and they're dressed like Blues Brothers.
Yes, dude, they look exactly like Elwood from Blues Brothers, and like it's so weird.
Why?
I don't know. I have no idea, and, and we'll never know.
They don't sing, they don't dance, they don't play saxophone. It's like, did you guys get the wrong costumes?
They grab onto Ross's arm, and like the arm like breaks off. And, like, that's never explained. It's just...
Oh, yeah, I thought they were robots at first. Because I was like, oh, that's wires. Oh, no, it's just, I guess, a zombie arm, I guess.
Total dream logic weirdness. But, like, are the Men in Black, are they, like, representing of, like, the corporate drone or whatever? Like... Is that the real game that Ross
they're vaguely painted blue or green, but like they're not zombies. And the least terrifying thing I think I've ever seen in one of these kid shows is, how does Ross stop the zombies?
Water.
He runs to the fountain and just splashes water at them like he's in a little wading pool.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh no.
It's very funny because he notices they're afraid of water, and when he splashes them, like, they're all pretty robotic, but then when he starts splashing, they all just kind of like, oh shit, and they start like running.
Oh shit, get away from us! We have like, they don't even melt or anything. It's just they all just kind of scamper away.
But that feels
Ross.
That's legit, like, dream logic. Like, that feels like a dream. Like, I was in the mall, but they were like, Elwood Blues is everywhere, but they were afraid of water, so I splashed them.
Yeah, but the Elwood Blues would because last week my dad watched Blues Brothers and it was stuck in my subconscious and it's now working its way back out. This is such crazy zombies. Especially because it's medieval themed otherwise. I don't know why there's modern Blues Brothers.
It kind of so does weird. Matrix, like, pre-Matrix, you know? Like, 10 years before the Matrix, and, like, we're doing, like, the corporate drones or the Apple Men.
He's got to learn he's part of the system. Oh my god, don't even... I'm going to jump hard to the point. So this goes on for quite a while, right?
It goes on for an amount
of time.
Hitting...
This is the rest of the episode is basically Ross going through Dream Logic game. And Kevin, I'm curious. We can go through the individual plots. It's really just characters yelling at Ross to do things,
and
right?
him being like, "I don't get it. Where am I? Like, I haven't connected this to the pinball game I was playing." So,
I screamed, Kevin, at 20 out of 22 minutes. He climbs to level 3 and has a crown. He goes, "Oh my god, I'm in the pinball game."
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What are you talking about, Kevin? Ross? Like, what?
I know. It's so
what did
stupid.
He think was happening this whole time?
It's so stupid. And like one. All right, so one like cool thing they do. Like, I'm gonna pay some compliments. Like, one cool thing they do is so there's this headband tiara object, right?
Yeah.
And like, depending on what level of the mall that like headband is, it's like a 90s like hair headband on like the first floor, and then like a generic like diamondy headband on the second, and then a full blown crown on the third. That feels very video gaming. Like, that's a cool touch. Just, having 3 props. Like, the poison trapped lockers on level 1, on the other hand.
Oh, I don't even remember those. Oh my god, yeah, they're just opening random lockers and getting blasted with goo.
There's water right there. He never washes the goo off.
I thought about that. It's like, go wash your face, you dummy.
He's just kind of...
It also didn't do anything to him. It wasn't like my stamina's lowered because I have poison damage over time.
I mean, you're also missing, like, something... You're missing, like, a really funny joke there where, like, the first locker... He's peering inside as he opens up. He gets slimed in the face. And, like, the second locker, he gets, like, poison misted in the face. Like, but he doesn't move his head out of the way for the second locker. Like,
no, Ross is done. And then the third one he opens, and it's just got the crown in it, right? Like, it's just laying there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Sophie drops a key for him. So he has the key. The key is never in jeopardy. He always has the key.
Yeah, Sophie has started to show up as a princess going, help me, you must do this, do this, do this. And I guess he just thinks that's her from an hour ago. She had a change.
Yeah, but I think with the slime lockers, you could have done a goofy, like, Looney Tunes bit where, like, he like, opens it, like, away from himself and, like, he doesn't look and he waits for the trap to trigger and then, like, it doesn't and then he looks in and he gets slimed again. Like, that would be comedy, right?
Yeah, or, like, a little monster hand pokes him in the eyes or something, you know? Or a Muppet Babies where it's, like, it's insert of TIE fighters coming flying at him and he has to shut it down real quick.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, like, it feels like the crew showed up for a day and the script hadn't been, like, cemented in. So, like...
Oh, my God, yeah.
So they're like, ooh, some lockers. Can we do some action with the lockers?
Dude, this set... They're doing... This is the... I know Goosebumps never was high budget either. This feels so low budget other than We Got Them All.
Yeah.
That, like, you can also feel the kids are so tired.
Yes,
like, they're trying, but, like, Sophie's actor, you can just tell it's 3 a.m.
It's been a long day.
The only time this mall is... Yeah, it's been a long day. They had to start shooting at 10 o'clock when the mall closed. Mm-hmm. She probably had to do school. She is tired and powering through it. You can just feel that, like, sloth through their performances.
I think it aids the dreamlike nature of the episode, but probably just should have just let the girl sleep.
Yeah, at one point the witch comes out of, like, a corner to get Ross near the end, and she's clearly just walking out of, like, the employee bathroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's not like a witch's lair. They strung up some cotton string for a web in one of the funniest shots of the whole episode. But it's like, you guys didn't even have money to even do that.
So the witch...
She just had to walk out.
The witch shows up, and the witch just kind of hisses. Like, the witch is...
Yeah.
The witch just kind of hisses. And, like... We kind of get a little too much witch action on this. Like, we linger a little too long on the witch, who's just kind of like vibing to the music a little bit. Like, she's just kind of swaying back and forth and hissing and, like, holding her hands up. And it's like, all right, do something. And then, like, she does, like, her breath weapon or whatever that blows everybody back and then locks the door. And it's like, all right. Like, that's kind of scary, I guess. And then, yeah, it's a lot of witch blowing, and the witch gets the tiara.
It's so much MacGuffin. Yeah, witch gets the tiara, then they get it back.
There's 3 MacGuffins. It's like MacGuffin Central.
There's the key that he has. Sophie gives him the key. Yeah. Then they go back to the store. They go back to Olsen's store to get, which is not transformed in the game, to get the music box. But then Sophie's like, wait, let's hide this music box in this trash can so that if they get us, they don't get both. But it's like, well, then you already had it hidden. We just went to go get a thing and just put it in another place. So that's just gone again for the bad guys to get.
It's funny that the dweeb in the beginning just wanted the key, and, like, Ross does not have to work at all to get the key. Like,
you really, like, missed the... Shouldn't the MacGuffin have been, if I get the key, I can solve all of this? I never got that key. What is the key even used for? Oh, no, he opens her chastity belt at some point, right?
No, dude.
Right, there's like a thing where she's, like, chained up and she has, like, that Robin Hood Men in Tights, like, chains all over. And he's like, oh, I got the key, and he opens it.
Yeah, but don't say that about a 14-year-old, man.
Well, not a chastity, but I was like, that's the symbolism they're going here in this story. But, like, yeah, the key was just used to unlock her from the witch. There's also, I don't know, there's a sheriff there's so many bad guys.
Yeah, so she's tied up in Olsen's, and that's the lock that's undone with the key. And then she gets the music box off the shelf, and then and then immediately throws the music box in the trash for reasons.
Yeah. She's like, we can't let them get it because if they get us, they'll get all of them. So let's put it back here. Okay.
Yeah,
sure,
they can't.
Fine, whatever.
Her reasoning is they can't have all of them, right? Like, so like she's like, so we'll put this one here. And it's like, I don't know if there's a lot of runaround. So eventually,
at some point, you got to come back here and get it anyway. So just bring it with you.
And on top of that, there's just like Mace Guy. Like Mace Guy is just like around and like menacing them.
Oh my god, I love Mace Guy. Yeah, at this point when Sophie joins, it's like, oh, it's an escort mission.
Yeah, Mr. X with the Morning Star is now following them.
Yeah, and he's like, what I love is like they dodge his swing early on and then run away from him, and then like 5 minutes later, it's like, oh, has his AI just been following you guys the whole time? He's still swinging at you.
What I love is every time Ross asks a stupid question like, "What's going on?" Mace Guy interrupts by coming in from off the frame and just like slamming the mace down in front of him.
At one point, Mace Guy swings and just leaves his mace where it is so that Ross can grab it and have a new weapon. They
never deal with Mace Guy, right? Like Mace Guy just kind of goes away and then Ross picks up the mace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just like it's like it didn't even defeat the Mace Guy. It was just he rolled poorly. He dropped his mace. Now you have it. But I don't think maybe they use it to break glass later.
Oh yeah. No, he uses it later to break the Super Soaker glass, right?
Listener, I cannot tell you how frustratingly like nonsense it really feels like the writers. I looked up; it's 2 writers of this episode.
Yeah,
Luis Lamar and Tom Rack. I do not think they liked video games very much, and I think this is what they thought the best video games would ever be.
Yeah, like there isn't really. It feels like they were handed something scary with video games, and they're like, fuck video games. Well, I know about pinball, or like we can get pinball.
Yeah, the whole time this is called a pinball machine. I was desperate for pinball. Heidi pointed out at one point, so I gave her credit for the observation. It was very smart. At one point, Ross falls back on a bench that looks like a pinball flipper, and we were like,
that's a blink and you miss it detail, but good.
Yeah, I was like, that was clearly intentional right there.
Okay, yeah. So my notes get a little insane from here on as well.
Go for it. You lead it with your. It was wandering nonsense at this point.
Yeah. So we defeat the witch, and then
is that where he runs into her with a chair? Is that how they defeat the witch, or is that later?
No, that's later. We have to get to the 3rd floor for the Mario Kart segment. I forget
the first form of the witch is defeated. Yeah.
Which round 1 is defeated, and so that's when Sophie gets kidnapped and by the weird like one-eyed king guy, and she says he can't hurt me, just go, and she like bowling ball pitches the tiara, which goes right back to the trash. Thank God, because let's face it, Ross never would have put that one together. So now Ross has the throne, the key, and the tiara. He just doesn't have Sophie. So he goes to level 3.
To clarify, the throne is the music box that looks like a little throne.
Yeah, but then he goes up to level 3, and on the illuminated... They must have been so happy when they found the light switch for the escalator, because they just like poof, like put the light on the escalator and he goes up. He could walk up the escalator. Like that was never an issue. Like...
Oh no! These kids, they're so lazy; they wouldn't know what to do with the unturned escalator. And it is it is so in so many. These are the things that you just played in the pinball game, Ross. Where he's like, "Am I in the game?" Like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how late a character caught on to the gimmick of this horror episode. So is this where he discovers how to save Sophie? Because like he just kind of goes to the sheriff, who's like posted up in the food court on a throne with Sophie tied up. There's 2 Blues Brothers zombies.
Yep.
I think the what do you call it? The guy with the hangman.
The executioner. Dude. Yeah, the mace guy.
He's just hanging out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what are you gonna do? You can't win. You shouldn't have played the game, boy. Which I think was an intentional reference.
Yeah, and he's like, so he says the only thing that kind of feels like a line. Like he says, when it's real, you get to make your own rules, which I think is goes deeper.
Oh my God.
Than this episode is allowed. It's like when you're in a.
It's not right. Like, if anything,
No, I think it's right.
It's the opposite. When everything's real, you don't get to make up your own rules.
Chad,
it should have been, if this isn't real, I can make up my own rules.
No, Chad, people will try and enforce that there is a correct way to play the game, but in real life there is no correct way to play the game. There is no reward. There is nothing. There is just how you choose to solve problems.
I don't know. I hear you. I agree with you on that part. Just the line, if it's real, that means I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yes, he is.
I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Was this hard?
It's real. You can do whatever you want.
I think what we had maybe jumped over was I think we skipped over the Mario Kart level.
Yeah, we did skip over Mario Kart Throne. Sorry.
So at some point, yeah. Go ahead, please.
At some point, he takes the throne out of the music box. So he takes the music box throne out, and he puts it down, and then they shake the camera a bunch while they slide in a new giant throne, which is probably the lowest budget portion of this entire. I really wish Paul was
they were
here
really
for that.
Trying.
Yeah, we'll get him on the next.
Me too.
For the dark, but that was the perhaps lowest budget part of this entire thing.
I think maybe the part right after it is also where, that is when he gets on the throne.
Yeah.
The throne is like magic carpet flying him along the mall to the upper level. The witch comes out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Goes, ha ha ha. Ross runs her over.
Yep.
It is not clear what happens to her but we only see her, her black robes are now draped over him in the reverse shot. But I don't know if you saw this, Kevin. You also can just see a guy pushing the chair behind him.
That's amazing.
There's a guy covered in clearly not supposed to be seen, pushing the chair like a sled dog. It's very, very funny. They're doing what they could. They're doing what they could.
Yeah, I mean, they got a 22-minute episode out of this.
At some point, I think he had also already gotten the Deus Ex Machina water gun out of the display using the hangman's mace at this point, but that had been destroyed.
Sure.
So when we get back to the point that you had said, Kevin, of Ross realizing he'll make his own reality, he is pulling a new water gun out of his pocket.
Right, yeah. So he storms the throne with a water gun, and then the mace guy, the sheriff or the eye patch guy knocks the big water gun out of his hand, and then he says, "I make my own rules," and he blasts him with the pistol in a very John McClane sort of way.
He goes, ho, 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 ho.
Now I have a super sucker. And
and all of the enemies just turn into smoke and fade. It is, I don't think it's very inspiring just to see a kid shoot monsters with a water gun, but I get it.
But isn't it wild how similar this is? Well, it's not clearly Fear Street was very much, the end of Fear Street was very much influenced by this episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, right?
In regards to, the Fear Street movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking of the book series. It's I don't know. I don't remember a book where they went into a game.
Remember the Fear Street movie ends in the mall where they have holy water super soakers and shit?
Yeah. I mean, that's a trope too, right? I feel like Lost Boys do the we fill the super soakers with holy water and we shoot the vampire. That can be cool.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors does it. I like holy water super soaker a lot. It's
a great kid trope.
Yeah, I think it's great. In my head, remembering this as a kid, I definitely felt like the deaths of the super soaker deaths, they felt more like the quarter explosions in Scott Pilgrim. It just hit way more.
Oh my god, they wanted that to. Yeah. If Scott Pilgrim didn't have any budget, or Ready Player One had no money, it'd be this. I had a theory. I don't know if I stand by this anymore, Kevin, but I was writing it down that I wondered if there was an earlier version of the script where the whole water thing wasn't in here, and it was more what do video games have? They have guns. And at some point, Ross gets a gun and shoots everyone. And then they were we cannot have an episode of TV where a kid shoots people in a mall. That maybe that never even existed.
I don't think that holds water. but it's an interesting thought.
The water thing was just so like, I don't know, it was just so out of crazy. Like, oh, the water, the zombies hate water, and that's like the key to all of it. It's fine. It's fine.
Or like if you dropped, like, if it was like a digital game or like an arcade game and like somebody dropped the Game Boy in like a bucket of water or something and it broke it, like that could be why water destroys the video game stuff. Because like you don't drop your Game Boy in the bathtub or whatever. Like,
oh yeah. Or like, oh, the video, or yeah, maybe he's like, oh, I know what destroy the. What if you had to destroy the game? You know what I mean? Like, what if he's like, if I go back and smash the antique pinball machine, none of this will happen.
Yeah, I feel like
we're just pitching things.
Yeah, I feel like you're trying to like change what it is, which is a mess. Like it's like this whole thing is just a mess.
I'm just trying to tighten it up a little bit.
We're looking at like a massive pile of garbage, and you're like, what if we put this tin can on top of the banana peel? That way you wouldn't see the banana peel so much.
That could make that banana peel look a little cool.
It's a dump. Like there's nothing. There's some cool stuff to look at, but there's nothing here.
This was a fun episode to watch Stone. I'll tell you that.
I bet. That final image of him being trapped in the pinball thing and the big pinball ball rolling up to the top of the escalator, that stuck with me. Like that was like emblemized.
Yeah, that's the coolest shot of the whole thing, and it's the only thing also like a pinball.
Yeah.
But it's the coolest shot of the whole thing.
Yeah, that part ripped.
Before I agree, that's probably the strongest image of the whole thing. I think it's so funny in how when Ross assassinates the king,
yeah,
and shoots him with water, and he melts.
Yeah. He
turns into like weird white goo. And then immediately Princess Sophie is like, I'll put these clothes on. Just puts the white goo robe on there.
His robe turns into a different robe. There's a fade between the two robes.
That's confusing. All right, okay.
Well, maybe you should stay off the drugs, Chad, if you're going to watch a children's thing.
Me and I were just like, don't put that on. That's covered in white goo. A man died in that, but she's fine. She's been crowned queen. Ross never questions if maybe Princess Sophie is the right to rule this mall. He has won the game. And like, yeah, you already said, I guess he just suddenly voice of God cuts in and it's Olsen. That's the guy's name.
Yeah.
Olsen. The shop.
Yeah.
He's like, you shouldn't have played the game. Like I told you, I guess you can just play forever.
That's how it ends. That's
no answer to Steve. Steve was just fired.
You just kind of get what you get, you know? Like that's like we're not really clear why Ross should be punished eternally for not working for free. Like it's just kind of
it's not clear. Does Mr. Olsen use this as some sort of soul engine to power his immortality? Is he's probably the Pinball Wizard of the title.
Listen, growing up, like watching this, I was probably watching it at my grandparents' place who were very Catholic, and they're probably just nodding their heads, and they're like, yes, it's wrong for children to want things.
What did you think about so when we come back to the campfire, Gary is finishing the story, and the moral of the story is whoever's got the game, just make sure the game doesn't get you.
Wow.
I don't know if that's anything you can actually keep in your heart and mind as you live your life.
I don't know if this was a scary story. I think it was just sort of, it felt like a story a kid might tell. Like it had like, it needed an editing pass or three. I just think the reaction from everyone would be like, oh, I'm too scared of the Game Boy now. I'd be like, yeah, whatever. I want to play Mario.
Or at least like, oh, hey, do you want to keep playing your game? It's like, I think I'm ready to save, and you know what? I'm going to read a good book. And he looks right at the TV.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're trying to clean up a trash heap, but like maybe if it was more about Sophie and less about the job, and so he's like, yeah, do you want to come hang out and like he plays games instead or something? I don't know. I don't really know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know like what the moral is going to be other than don't play video games.
Oh, yeah. Also, I'm glad you brought that up, Kevin. I think Sophie wasn't real.
Whoa.
I think Sophie is Olsen in disguise. I think Olsen goes like, I'm going on lunch break. He runs around the corner. He casts a spell of shapeshift, goes back in as a young teenage girl, flirts with a boy. Don't worry about it. To further like lure him into the trap. Then go like, oh, I'll be back in an hour. runs off, turns back into Olsen and waits and listens because that girl didn't ever come back. She never came back. I don't even think she was real. What, a girl who has a music box takes it to a repair shop? No teenage girls doing that. No teenage boys doing that.
If you're like a Ghibli character, you might do that, but I'm with you. Like Sophie seems like
I think Olsen shapeshifted into Sophie for extra levels of manipulation.
Yeah, makes sense to me. It makes about as much sense as anything else in this episode.
I got a few pieces of trivia I was reading online for.
Wow.
According to the wiki, this was the most difficult episode out of the series to produce and the longest to film.
The longest.
DJ McHale actually, the longest to film. We said people were tired. DJ McHale actually pleaded with the crew to break union rules and work an extra day. They unanimously agreed to work a day of overtime to help finish the episode. The concept proved to be hard to do in their budget, especially since they were at the end of the season when they were low on money. DJ worked hard to get to the story to be possible to show. He wasn't going to direct it at first, but took over so no one else would be burdened with it. This episode hurt a production team.
Sounds about right. Like, that's, I think, the worst version of it. Like, I was like, maybe this was like, a really tossed off one and some people got to go home early. Unfortunately, it seems like absolutely. The exact opposite.
You could feel like things being shifted on the fly. I just remembered. Do you remember the coins become marbles?
Yeah. Oh my god!
And that's how he defeats the witch the first time. Is he just throws marbles at her and she's like, whoa, and she just like falls over and dies.
And Sophie, who hasn't seen any of that shit, was like, try the marbles. And he's like, oh yeah. And it's like, oh my god, like. What? I wonder what's on the cutting room floor for this one.
Oh my god, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to read the different drafts. You just know there had to be like, oh my god, there's a witch's lair here now. What do we have left? We got some silly string? Okay.
What's the worst version of this one? Like
I just think it's also what's funny is the whole thing was an arcade, and then that last shot of Olsen looking down at Ross then turns it back into you finally see the game for the first time and it's a pinball board. So I don't know what the fuck Ross was playing.
They really tried to not show that pinball board. Like, it's a flash and I'm like, wait, what was he looking down in? Like, they really try to not do that shot, but they kind of have to make everything make sense.
Ross would have been describing the most insane, expensive $50,000 pinball board with like multiple levels and characters that pop out and give you quests and like you got to hit the multi-ball to stop the sheriff. It would have been insane.
Well, I commend the crew for getting the thing done. It might not have been worth it.
Yeah.
Might not have been worth it in the long run.
I think this was super fun to watch, and it's admirable for what they were pulling off with the budget. I think even compared to Goosebumps and other shows, I'm like, yeah, you guys did what you could. It's no Tron.
No.
It's no Tron Legacy.
I do think it's cool and vibey, though. Like, I do, again, like, the fashion and the costuming is on point for the kids, not so much for, like, the fantasy portion of this. That's a little, whatever. But, like, you got the malls and the payphone and, like, the fountains and, like seeing you can't see a living mall anymore. Like, as a time capsule, this episode is incredible. Like, this is what...
Oh, my God, yeah. Well, kids even... Like, young people ever watching this, I don't even know if they're going to understand, like, first off, what do you mean right to repair? What do you mean there was a guy that could fix your things for you, let alone there was a collection of stores all together and people just wandered them? That's insane.
Yeah. Like, why is this kid not supervised? Don't they know about 9/11? Why are two of those kids unsupervised? Why are the kids allowed to meet at night in the woods? Don't they know 9/11 is going to happen?
Can a small detail about this? I feel like I've noticed this in a lot of other episodes of Very Fair the Dark. It happened in this one. So the kids all say goodbye. The Midnight Society all says like, all right, goodbye. And they leave Gary to basically like stare at the camera and say goodbye as if we are there, which I think is cool. I think it's cool to pretend that like somehow we're a kid hanging on the peripheral of it.
Yeah.
But like, why are the other kids not like waiting for Gary? They make him like turn it off himself, douse out the fire, and then like he's got to walk back in the dark. Wait, just hang back, guys. Like
in my like headcanon, they all live on the same cul-de-sac, so like they're not. It's not like they're like driving back or carpooling or anything like that. I think they're just simply walking into the woods behind somebody's house.
Yeah. I in my cul-de-sac, I had a little like someone had planted a circular shrub, and if you walked through it, you just had a little hidden.
Oh, that's cute.
5x5 secret garden that was my hidden fort for a long time.
Oh, that's
probably
cool.
The neighbors were just like, oh, the weird fat kid's wandering into our hedge again, Martha. Let him go.
I had a bunch of woods behind my house, but it's all other houses now. But I remember there being like a tree house and stuff back there, and the older kids would definitely camp out back there some nights.
This used to be our playground. This used to be our childhood dreams. I loved watching this episode though, Kevin. I appreciate you picking this up.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised we just never really covered Are You Afraid of the Dark. I looked at some of the other episodes that like I don't remember, and I'm like, ooh, like this might not have been fun to like over cover or whatever. I don't think every one of these is a winner. So
no, I saw one that was like the tale of the Midnight Neighbors, and it looks like it's just Twilight. It's just what if my neighbors were Mormons who had white skin and didn't hang out very much during the day.
But yeah, I'm glad you watched this with me, Chad. This was fun to talk about. And we should at least talk about one more.
At least one more evil soup. I'm excited to do that when Paul's back and ready to go. Well, I think that's been a Goosebuds.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm trying not to think too much about this being one of your last episodes or I'll cry. If you want to support this show, whether it's with me and Kevin and Paul or just me in the future, you can go to patreon.com/Goosebuds. It's the main reason the show has been able to survive so long for over 10 years, which is crazy. Not only pledging your support to the show, keeps the lights on, it gives you access to a bunch of bonus stuff, like bonus episodes of Camp Goosebuds. We just put out a new one that was just you and me, Kevin, right? Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just you and me. I was trying to remember which ones are which. Shooting the shit. If you liked our Magic the Gathering discussion in this, it's kind of like that, but even more random and scattered. We put those out every month. There are dozens upon dozens of them in our back catalog. You get, if you go to our Patreon, you get your name in the book of names you'll hear at the end of this episode, and you get access to our Discord community filled with some really cool people. Patreon.com/Goosebuds. We appreciate your support. Kevin, where should people go to check out your stuff and also support you?
You can find me and my games. You can find me on Blue Sky, actually, if you guys are on Blue Sky.
Yeah, Blue Sky.
I'm at spacekings.space on Blue Sky. You can go to spacekings.space and find my tabletop RPG, Space Kings. You're going to get the whole, like Kevin Cole website bouquet for this, the cornucopia of things I have online. I sell both a digital and a physical book of Space Kings. I also have a lot of video games available for free on my itch page, which is supertry.itch.io. You can play a lot of my games for free. And also, I've decided to spend more of my time making games. I've got a tabletop game and a video game that I really just want to spend all my time working on. So I'm doing that through my Patreon. You can sign up for free at givekevinmoney.com. If you want to just hear what I'm working on and get a little update every couple of months, or you can get an update every week because I post every week on about what I'm working on. If you give me $1, you can read those, and if you give me a little more, there are other good stuff you can get. There's more good stuff you can get, like cool secret video games and stuff. And I'm also working on a video series with Paul. It's going to be called A Long Weekend, and we've got a couple videos coming out. I can't really point you anywhere for that yet, but yeah, probably if you follow me on Blue Sky.
I can say I've seen some early drafts of them, and they're very, very good.
Oh, thanks,
I would watch them if I didn't know you guys.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, and if you want to know when those come out, definitely follow me either on Blue Sky, which who knows if that's going to be around in a year, or follow me on my Patreon, which I really hope is still around in a year. But yeah, you can.
Gosh, I hope so.
Yeah. So those are two ways to stay in touch: is through Blue Sky and following me for free on my Patreon, or following me for money on my Patreon. And every week on my Patreon, if you do give me at least $1, you will get a picture of my cat Houdini at the end of every one of my blog posts. So, because honestly, the Patreon is helping me pay for Houdini's medical care and food. So I'm very grateful for that.
Dude, my pet, these pets, man, they require a lot of cash. They really do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm paying like $3 a can for Houdini right now. At least, but she's eating her food, so that is the good news.
Oh, good. I love that cat.
We're trying to chonk her up, which can only benefit from $1 or $2 from given towards.
Please chunk up, Hootie.
Yeah, please
chunk that cat up.
Help me chunk my cat.
Otherwise, let me check out Paul's stuff on Continue and A Long Weekend when that comes out.
Yeah.
And you guys, Kevin, you'll be back, and Paul will be back for at least another episode.
One more
in March.
One more.
It's the last one.
Just one more. Then we're all banished to the Pinball Wizard video game mall.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I would just hide in that little like runoff corner that the ball never lands in and just be like, I live here now. Oh, there's the ball going again.
No, right, the Who references. At least unless no, I don't think.
You think they tried to get the Pinball Wizard song? Just even asked if they could get the rights? Yeah,
I don't know. There wasn't even really a wizard in there, but I remember a wizard from like...
Yeah, at the very end of it, Olsen should have been like, ha ha ha, he just puts on a weird wizard hat.
Yeah.
He just should have just done it.
Overall, a perplexing time, but thank you for thank you for hanging out with me in the chat.
Likewise, thank you, Kevin. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This episode of Goosebuds is brought to you by the wonderful Patreon supporters, especially those immortalized forever in the Book of Names.
The Book of Names! Sorry, I just mixed it up.
I had to adjust to that one.
Started with Low Belly Hate Me,
Hollis Hornbeak,
Nathan Dolezal,
Hey Josh Rob,
Mickey C,
F. Sheen,
Stealth, a beautifully fleshed skeleton, Bates,
Robert Moon,
Jason Crooker.
DM me, I'll tell you about the Rite A fraud.
Can you just let us know?
We frauding?
Yeah. HBO's doing a documentary about it. I don't want to spoil their.
I'm trying to get in on it.
Paul wants to be a fraudster now. The Juggalobalist?
Aiden is doing shots of Skittles Littles.
Sounds like heartburn. Gregory D. Warren.
Levi Fan.
Jar Jar Slinks.
Chosen One.
The John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation. Thank you.
Yanni Marcopina.
Carl.
Anthony Mulberry.
Brookex.
Christian Van Skeever.
Jeremy Lowe.
Zach Connor.
Andrew Jadsack can't figure out how to ship a made brandy old-fashioned sour, but will gladly mail garlic dill pickles next.
Thank you.
I've gotten them before. They're delicious.
Yeah, thank you. Next summer. Sorry, he had more to his name.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. It was perfectly good instincts. It was perfectly concealed.
Yeah. Jump scare word, though.
Whoa, summer. Carson Birkenbean.
Tevin Ticklebean whispers, rich people are a scam, and releases the arrow.
Yes.
Fly true, arrow. Fly true. Luke.
Matt McClellan.
Juan Jalapena.
Keith Halcrow.
Clay McCarty. Yowie Gagarin, a.k.a. Yowie Gagarin, a.k.a. Yowie Gagarin.
A.k.a. Garglin Yowie.
Matthew Sutton, a.k.a. Matthew Sutton.
Whoa.
Kelsey Kinnaman.
Tobias Clark.
Russell Kasberg.
Xavier Jimenez Castillo.
Rena Kemp or Rena Kemp. I never asked you which.
Let us know.
Phonetics are good. MC Hamster commits his body to the ice.
Thank you, Hamster. Limp Duck.
I don't think anyone goes by Rena, but it's probably Rena. I don't know.
I think I knew a Rena.
Jonas Blotterman.
What's like Reba McIntyre if you say that but you just replace the B with an N?
I'm Reba.
I'm Reba.
Chris, does it smell like ghost dick in here? Nelson.
He's back.
I'm not trying to ruin anyone's day. I'm not trying to give them the worst day at their job, but does it smell like ghost sticking? Kieran McNamara.
Wham.
Coleman Laguza.
Diet Soda.
Jonas and Evoldson.
Goosebumps theme. Woof, 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 woof.
Nailed it. A pair of Scots.
Iro Forte.
Ooh. Meta for the Metaphor. New music coming soon.
Nice.
Zambambino.
I'm getting all the shouts out ones today. Ma, the meatloaf.
Save your voice, Kevin.
Burger's functioning replacement for Kevin's heart.
Ba-boom, ba-boom.
Hopefully it's not made out of burger. That's probably not going to help it.
It's made out of burger.
Some of Chad's bird friends just bought a copy of Space Kings.
Thank
my
you.
God, they're having such a great time.
Just if the heart is made out of burger, iron sharpens iron, so you can eat more burgers, and it'll only make your heart stronger. Nicholas Maloney.
That's true.
I would expect a philosophy lesson for my sharp burger heart.
Get real Invader Zim visuals for every reason.
My squeedly spooch.
Lucretia McEvil.
Mutant astronaut.
Need more kimchi.
Logan Derby.
Cameron Hansen.
Callum, Monster Misfire, West.
Yoplin.
Generally depressing.
Philip Reynolds.
Nate Bitg.
Ryan R. Davis.
Scott Wable.
Resident Lorcana guy pledges their half Hexwell crown to Kevin and their lucky dime to Paul. Goodbye, boys. Love y'all.
Love a dime. Thank you.
Love a crown.
Is Hexwell crown and lucky dime from a specific game? I'm not understanding.
Probably Lorcana.
Isn't Hexwell like the fake nonstick thing that you can scrub or whatever? That's Hexclad.
I
Never
don't
mind.
know if I know that.
Kevin, in this moment, I'll believe anything you say.
Oh, it looks like it is. It looks like it is Lorcana. Yeah,
Tight.
it's a Lorcana card.
Thank you, Lorcana guy.
I believe any damn word you say right now.
Ev Dog.
Gluten-free Rocky Mountain Oysters.
Stinklich.
Megan McCormick Mason.
Ninja Breadmen.
Sprinkle Buns.
Aaron Lord.
Dr. Chakula.
My cart.
SSJ Trogdor.
Cassandra Harris.
Max Boltzmann.
I'm getting all my favorites
Oh,
today.
yeah.
Farrah.
Mike Spaghetti Jones.
Oh, love when Paul says that one.
Quest Goblin Grader.
Kyle O'Neill.
Tanya Hyde is fighting off the aliens, waiting for more pretend friends and Goosebuds RPG.
Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you for asking for more
Hang in
friends
there.
because what's RPG?
Please hang in there.
Saturn Video.
John W.
Kiwi a blurb.
Chevy LaGrange.
No! I signed it.
Max is a box that shoots stuff.
Ooh.
Like a Dune, kind of, maybe.
Like 1984 Dune.
Pain.
Logan Kilgus.
Yeah. You put your hand in a little boo box or whatever, and it shoots death out
the
of
mouth
it.
box. Yeah, the mouth box. Logan Kilgus.
Mr. Bumpy versus the Closet Monster versus Destructo. That's a Bump in the Night reference. I love it.
Sorry, we rehearsed this better, you know. Blarbin.
Maybe we over-rehearsed. Problem Child 2 on DVD.
Odin's Eye Hole.
No one can see my blocking. Like, I remember all my blocking. I know where to go.
You've been
instead.
nailing your spots.
I know. We moved. The stage got a little bit smaller, so now it's all thrown off.
The crazy thing is I moved all the tape last night, and Kevin is still hitting the spots where the tape was.
It's just in there, you know. I'm inhabiting the character. Taraku, the thing that goes doink in the anime.
Wade Norcross.
Goodbye. Oh no, please. Can't we go back to page 1 and do it all over
Aw.
again? Pooh Bear. JFAR 2025.
Aw, don't worry. There'll be many more adventures, JFar.
Ben.
You nailed it. That was the noise right there.
That's it. Floyo Sayer.
The Strays.
Bob Cabbage.
The Shrekronomicon.
Jolly Old Jules.
Geege.
It's Melodies.
Soap.
Spencer Leaf Johnston.
AI and MC, or Al and MC. The font doesn't make it clear.
Identify yourselves.
Caleb doesn't have much to say this month.
That's okay. It's okay. You know, an artist, he respects the silence. Remember that guy who yelled at the trumpet player? He was like, an artist respects the silence.
I do.
Look Bob Dylan up on stage.
That guy ruled. He didn't rule, but he ruled.
Yeah. He ruled at what he did, which was yelling at trumpet
being a
players.
dickhead.
Tall glass of dumb bitch juice is a disappointment. Rock side.
Rock fingers. Rock fingers.
Rock fingers.
I'm proud of you. The Eldritch Nipples of Arg L. Stain.
Oh my god, it's like the medieval multiverse version of him.
Treehouse of Jorge 5. I don't know quite what, if it's George or Jorge or something.
I think it's Jorge.
Jorge, you think?
I would say
I don't know
Jorge.
why I added the J in there then. Treehouse of Jorge 5. Treehouse 2022.
It feels like there's a redundant treehouse in there, but it's okay. Carly Beth's parents, 808. Carly Beth found a stone Aztec mask. This one doesn't seem haunted, though, for now.
Put that back. Put it back where the Aztecs are.
That
Carly Beth.
belongs, yeah. It belongs in the Aztecs. Go contact them.
Better a Yeti with a flaw than a Bigfoot without.
Damn, that's true.
Makes you think.
Tootin' Watson.
Wyvern.
Angus Keefe.
Big old dumb Burb engaged to Lady Bird fiance. Congratulations.
Yay.
Congratulations. May your nest grow strong and not shake in the wind. Felix.
Daniel Lavelle.
Nathan Galindo.
Wolf CIA. Thank you for your donation, but also CIA scary.
Do not destabilize us.
Wolves are fine, but the CIA. I don't know. Mitch Show.
J-Fen Crane.
Eric Wink.
Blink wink. Airy.
Respect me, Daddy.
Andrew.
Harry could have been Ari. I simply don't know.
We don't know.
Ventus 13.
Ben L. cursed as a Halloween gingerbread. Help!
Oh no.
I'll help you by eating
Oh no!
Yeah, actually, I gotta tell you, Ben L., you're kind of in a bad place in the book of names, because up next is Snackwell's Cookie Monster.
Oh no!
Waiting in the wings. Haptic.
Kevin Sorbo's Gourmet Tomatoes.
Smithios.
Avery.
Snack Reiner.
Cold Mayhem.
And Zach Snyder. He made the cut.
Thank you, Zach. Looking forward to Rebel Moon 2. It's gonna be great.
Looking forward to it.
It's totally gonna be not Star Wars. It's gonna be great. Thank you all so very much for your love and support, and enjoy.
Thank you to the Book of Names.
Thank you, Book of Names.
Thank you.